When your sales process is seamless, you'll create consistent income without the plateaus. What if you could sell in a way that felt completely aligned? No chasing, no cold DMs, just natural, effortless approaches that turn into dream clients signing up to your no-brainer offer. If you don't have a seamless sales process in place, you will not only struggle to convert leads into clients, but it will also mean that all of the effort that you are putting into your strategy is wasted. So now you won't be growing your income and you'll feel terrible too. So when it comes to seamless sales, there are 3 key components that I personally teach my clients. The first is having a no-brainer offer. When you get your offer right, it's not some average, boring, blasé, shitty offer, and it's actually a no-brainer offer. It will do 80% of the selling for you. Don't you want 80% of the selling to be done for you? That starts by having a no-brainer offer, right? The second thing that you need to have in place is the sell via chat method. This is different sales approaches you can leverage where you're having conversations with potential clients, because conversations equals clients. So you can sell in the DMs, you can sell via sales calls, you can sell via sales pages, and you can sell via Loom videos. I teach all of these ways and more for my clients. And when you go all in on one in particular, that's going to allow you to increase your conversions rather than guessing or dabbling or not really having a proper sales process to begin with. And then the third component that goes into seamless sales is the retention builder, because there comes a point in time where it's not just about getting new client after new client, it's actually about retaining the ones you've already got. If you can be great at delivery, onboarding, getting your clients results, they're going to become raving fans and they're going to stay with you long term. And this is going to make making money easier. So today is all about how to make your coaching offer easier to say yes to. And at the end of the day, you do need the no-brainer offer, the sell via chat method, and the retention builder in order to sign clients with ease, learn your sales skills to be able to do so, and then also keep them as well. Now, when it comes to seamless sales altogether, there's a burnout way to go about this and there's a more spacious way. As you guys probably know, I'm all about the spacious way, right? But the burnout way is selling only through one-on-one approaches or endless follow-ups, right? Which is typically required when you haven't done the process properly. Instead, we want to nurture with events and automated email sequences so potential clients actually come to you ready to buy. The other burnout way is getting ghosted on calls and battling endless objections. Instead, like I said, we want to have that no-brainer offer that's actually going to do 80% of the selling for you. Your audience is going to feel silly saying no to you. That's how good your offer is. And then the other burnout way is over-explaining and trying to convince every lead. Whereas instead, the more spacious way is to guide qualified potential clients through a pre-call process so they already know, like, and trust you. Now, I'm not going to go into all 3 of these ways today. I'm going to double down on the no-brainer offer component for you so you can really nail this, because a good offer has a title, some inclusions, and fair pricing. I'm sure we can all agree in that. But a no-brainer offer has 4 other components included. Number 1 is that they all have a tangible promise. So the question I want you to ask yourself is the result clear, specific, and emotionally compelling? This is very important when it comes to creating a no-brainer offer. So for example, an unclear promise might be, I help you grow your business. Very vague. What business? Grow in what way? From what starting point to what end point? There's so many questions. Versus a clear promise is, I help you sign 5 high-ticket clients per month in your coaching business through Instagram Reels. See how much clearer that is? See how much more tangible that is? See how much more compelling that is? So I want you to rate yourself right now. Are you green? Your audience knows exactly if it's for them or not. Or are you red? Your audience doesn't know if it's for them or not, and what they're actually going to walk away with. Because it needs to be green. Otherwise, you have maybe a good offer, but not a no-brainer one. So that's the first thing. The second thing that goes into taking an offer from good to great is compelling bonuses. So do the bonuses solve objections or fast-track results? Not just more stuff, but more support or speed, because this is what your audience actually wants. They want more speed to the result. No one wants more stuff. We are not at a shortage of information in the coaching industry with AI and just the amount of social media content that, is out there, right? So some examples of some compelling bonuses that if they were only available for a short time would get someone to move might be one-on-one access. It might be certain templates. It might be a personalized plan. I could list 100 different things, but this is just 3 examples. So I want you to again rate yourself here. Are you green? I have desirable bonuses included. Or are you red? I don't have desirable bonuses included. Because this is definitely something that I see most people miss that's going to make a massive difference if you incorporate this along with the other 3 things that I'm telling you right now. And number 3 is payment plans. Is the pricing structured for your ideal client's mindset and stage? And are you incentivizing pay in full in a way that feels good but not forced? I'll give you a little bit of an example. For a long time in my business, I, first of all, on sales calls was never saying the in full amount. I was always just saying the monthly payment plan for starters. And so naturally, people would pay on the payment plan. But even when they did ask about the in full, or I did mention the in full, it was literally just the same amount. Like there was no different in the price point, right? And so naturally, go figure, no one really ever paid me in full other than a rare specific amount of people who really just hated payment plans and wanted to get it out of their way. And to be honest, that's me. I'm that person. I don't like paying on payment plans. But there is power in it being provided for sure. And so when I learned this, that I wasn't structuring my payment plan options correctly, I decided to change this. I made my in-full investment cheaper than the payment plan. So yeah, technically the payment plan is more expensive, right? But I wasn't doing it to punish the payment plan people. I was doing it to reward the pay in full people. And guess what? People started paying me in full. Now we get a good percentage of people pay us in full, and this has been a massive game changer. I also incentivize the pay in full in other ways as well. So if someone pays me in full, not only do they get it cheaper for one of my offers, they literally save $1,000 by doing so, but also they get a bonus month inside my program, which is valued quite high in of itself. And so that incentivizes those who can commit to it to pay in full, and those that can't, that's completely fine. That's why we make accessible, generous payment plans too. Either way, you want to have payment plan options and you want to structure it correctly for your sake and for your client's sake to get more people on board. But you have to do this in a really strategic and intentional way. I audit all of my clients' pricing and help them with that to really nail this. So again, let's rate yourself to see where you're at with this. Are you green? I have supportive and clear payment plans in place. Or are you red? I need to improve my payment plan process and options. Now, number 4, the 4 things that go into taking your offer from good to great is having genuine demand. So are you giving your audience a real reason to act now? Because this absolutely matters. Now, what genuine demand means is like limited spots or limited time bonuses or start dates or your price increasing. Now, all of these things would be true at times and you just might not be leveraging them, or you might not be leveraging them in a really intentional way. We really want to avoid fake scarcity or pressure tactics. People can feel it, they can sense it, and they typically hate it too. So instead, we want to anchor into genuine demand here. So let me give you an example. If I gave you 100 clients tomorrow, not with what you want, but with how your business is currently structured, could you handle it? When I ask this question, in workshops and things like that, 9 out of 10 people say they couldn't cope with it. And then when I ask them how many they could take on board, some people tell me 3, some people tell me 5, some people tell me 10, some people say 50 and things like that. But for the most part, most people can only take on between 1 and 10 people at any given time. And this is typically because they've got unscalable business models, right? Which is the complete opposite of what I preach, but nonetheless, that is their situation. They're doing one-to-one coaching, they're super heavy on delivery, they're just providing so much, and it's all dependent on their time and all of these things. And so based on that, they can really only take on a certain amount of people at a time. Now, this is fine, but then you might as well be leveraging it. If you can only take on board 3 people, then guess what? That is your genuine demand. That is your limited spots. You can only take on that many people. So why aren't you using that in your marketing? Because that is what is going to sell. And guess what? It's the truth. Even better, right? Another example, limited time bonuses. So if you run free workshops or things like that, leveraging bonuses that's going to help people move quickly is a great thing to do. Now, this isn't some fake scarcity. This isn't, some sort of weird sales tactic, even though it absolutely does do that. It's really about leveraging the human brain, right? The human brain is wired in a way where it wants to keep us safe and protected and small and the same. The brain does not want us to change and get out of our comfort zone, because if you think about how our brain is wired and created, it is wired to keep us safe. It is safe when we stay the same in our comfort zone because it's familiar. The moment you go and do something different, it flashes off all of these alarm bells. It's like having an ambulance drive past you all the time. You know how you're like, you get all stressed when you hear a police car or an ambulance. At least I do, and I haven't even done anything wrong, right? It's very stressful to hear those noises. And that's kind of like what our brain is doing when we go to get out of our comfort zone. It's basically saying, don't do that, you will die. Like that's unknown territory, don't do it. This is why we get really nervous when we go to make big investments or make any changes in our life, not because it's bad or wrong. You got to have a strong intuition to recognize that and awareness about the human brain, but it's actually just because it's new, and new means unknown, and the brain does not like unknown, right? But we know that we're not about to be chased by some tiger or lion like our brain thinks it is going to be back from the cavemen days. We know that we are completely fine, and posting on social media, making an investment isn't going to end our lives. It's not going to be this crazy uncertain thing. Sure, is there risk? Sure, is there uncertainty? Sure, can things go wrong? Of course. But we're not being chased by a tiger, and there's a freaking difference, right? But our brain doesn't know that. And so we want to understand, okay, this is how the human brain works. So what can we do to override that to get people to move faster before their brain has time to sit and get comfortable and therefore stay in the same place? You could incorporate compelling bonuses, limited time bonuses that make people need to move quickly. This isn't about, screwing them over or anything like that. It's literally about understanding how the brain works and doing something about that to help them, because they're not going to change or improve their life from staying where they are. They're going to change and improve from getting out of their comfort zone and doing something that they're not currently doing, which is going to get them a different result, which is what they say that they want, right? That's what limited time bonuses do. So it's not some fake scarcity thing. It's genuine momentum that we're leveraging here. Now, start dates. For some of you, you are doing a stop and start program. Like it starts on a certain day and it finishes on a certain day. And if that's the case, again, you should leverage that because that is genuine demand, okay? And then price increasing. We should all be increasing our pricing regularly. I like to update my pricing about once a quarter, maybe sometimes a little bit longer than that. Somehow these 3 months go really quickly, but roughly once a quarter, I like to very slowly increase my pricing. Do you know why? Because the cost of everything else goes up. Like the cost of everything else goes up. So if you want to maintain that same kind of lifestyle, profit margin, experience, all the things, well, then you better increase your pricing to be a reflection of the current economy. And so knowing that when you are going to increase your pricing, because otherwise you'll go out of business, you might as well announce it for 2 reasons. 1, it's going to make people move. 2, it's actually a disservice not to, because if someone is watching you behind the scenes right now, considering working with you, and you change your prices without announcing it, and then they go one day to sign up only to find out that the investment is no longer the same, they're actually going to be pissed off. They're going to be like, well, I wish you would have told me that because I was just about to join, and had I known, I would have jumped in earlier. So it's actually a disservice to not share when you are making big changes to your program or your pricing. So can you see that this is actually genuine demand? We want to avoid that fake scarcity or pressure tactic, but instead just anchor into that genuine momentum, okay? So again, let's rate yourself. Are you green? You have genuine urgency and scarcity involved in your offer, or you're red? I have little to no genuine urgency and scarcity involved in your offer. If that's the case, you want to make these changes. You want to have a tangible promise. You want to have compelling bonuses. You want to have compelling payment plans, and you want to leverage genuine demand. And when you get this right, sales will feel effortless, and you can focus on signing quality clients instead of chasing quantity, giving you more time, more income, and creating a higher quality experience and results for your clients. One of my clients, Abby, she actually made $70,000 in her first month of working with me and got 31 booked calls within 24 hours of running her second event in her private Facebook community with less than 400 members in it. Her offer was a no-brainer, and she had delegated the sales process to a sales closer, making her sales process completely seamless. And that, my friends, is the power of having a no-brainer offer. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a whole bunch of other things that go into making you an offer a no-brainer, but this are 4 things that you can implement right away that's going to make a massive difference. Good luck.